What is the best way to make your Christmas tree last longer? Should you buy some preservatives and use those? How about some DIY solutions from the kitchen? What other things can you do to your Christmas tree to make it last longer and keep the needles from falling off? Let's first deal with commercial products. They sound like a good idea, and for about $10, you can make that tree last weeks longer. At least that's what the ads say. But the reality is that none of these products work very well. These have been studied, and the results are not very encouraging. They don't even work very well on artificial trees. What about the stuff from the kitchen? There are lots of suggestions online to use things like this: molasses, sugar, bleach, soft drinks, aspirin, honey, and even plant fertilizer. Which of these work best? The short answer is that none of these things work. Many of them have been tested, and they simply don't make the tree last any longer. If you don't believe me, have a look at my blog post on gardenmyths.com. And in that post, I include the references of the scientific study. And I'll put a link to that article in the description below. So what does work best? The only thing you need to do is add water to that tree. That's it. Don't add anything to the water. There are a few other things you can do to make the trees last longer. When the Christmas trees are first cut, that cut seals itself off and it no longer absorbs water very well. So it's important to recut the tree just before you set it up, and then get the water in the dish as quickly as possible so it can't seal itself. If the tree trunk doesn't fit in your holder, don't shave off the wood to make it fit. Trees absorb the water through the xylem, and that xylem is just underneath the bark. And if you damage that or cut it off, the tree won't absorb any more water. So you have to leave the bark alone. Never let the tree dry out. You have to keep water on there constantly. If it does dry out, the xylem will seal itself and it'll stop sucking up water. So you have to recut it. By the way, there's another myth out there. If you cut the tree on an angle, it will absorb more water than a straight cut. That's just nonsense. A tree only has so many xylem channels going up into it. Doesn't matter how you cut the bottom, it only sucks up a certain amount of water. Keep the tree away from heat sources, so fireplaces and baseboard heaters. Even air vents that are sending up dry, hot air right next to the tree will speed up the rate at which it dries out. Keep the tree away from all of those things. The new products being sold to preserve your tree and make it last longer are a waste of time and money. Don't be duped by the advertising or by strangers' comments online. I looked up one of these products on Amazon, and I looked at the comments, and all kinds of people said, "Hey, 5 stars. This product works great." But I can guarantee you that none of these people had multiple trees and compared water to the product. Homeowners don't do that. If you only have one tree and use a product, how do you know it works? You don't. You need to have controls. Don't believe those comments. Do you want to save even more money? Well, here's a link to another video I put together on fertilizer myth. It'll clarify a lot of misinformation about fertilizers, and you'll have to buy less products. Have a look at that video right now. Have a good Christmas.